So our viewers and readers would like to know the other part of your personality apart from your profession, like what kind of a person you are, what are your hobbies, what do you like, what's the mantra of your life?
Well, I think first it is still very important for me to tell that I am basically a filmmaker.
Yeah.
If it is right for me to say that so. And I've made two short films called Kumu and Son of the Soil. And I have assisted in two documentaries, Children of God and Brushstroke. And apart from that, I have also made, I'm in the process of making one of my one documentary. So that is my experience in filmmaking, which I believe is very in the initial stage, very much in the initial stage. And apart from filmmaking, my academic background is basically in media. So I did my bachelor's in media studies from Mumbai University. Then I did my master's in mass communication from Tezpur University. And that is pretty much about me. And hobbies, I am basically a dancer. I've done my Visharad in Kshatriya Nitya, and it'll not be wrong for me to say that I have grown up dancing. So that is my background.
So what brought you to cinema? Like what made you say yes to the profession of making films?
Making films, honestly, um, it actually comes to my mind now that my mother used to say this a lot. That when I was little and we used to watch these Bollywood movies,
Yeah.
and there was this film of Salman Khan. I don't even know what the name is, but my mother kept telling this so many times that every time Salman would come, sitting on a horse, I would predict it beforehand that he's going to jump,
Okay.
and he would actually jump.
Oh,
So my mother was like quite shocked at that point that how does she know, because this is a film that we haven't watched.
yeah.
For the first time it is being telecasted, and what made her think that he's going to jump, because she's a child and she doesn't know that. So I'm not trying to say that I've come with this blessing of being a
Born
filmmaker
to
or
do that.
something. No, not at all. But yes, I believe that every person has a particular kind of intellect.
Yes.
There are different kinds of intelligence that everybody has, and I feel that also because I was brought up in an environment of culture, dance and abhinay and everything. So art, culture, and these things had a very deep, I think, involvement with me. And cinema, when cinema happened for me, when I assisted another director in a film, I instantly knew that it is something about this field that is very attractive, because it has so many things. It's not just one art. It's an amalgamation of so many art forms, and that's why I think I love cinema. And above all, the impact that cinema has is magical. I love.
So what is it for you? Like cinema inspires life or life inspires cinema?
Um, I think life inspires cinema.
Yeah.
And I also understand that this definition will vary from person to person.
Yeah.
I say this from, I think, from the standpoint of being a filmmaker. Um, Making a film is a very, I would say, honestly, a very tough task, because to stay involved with the whole process of making a film, starting from the pre-production, production to post-production, you need a very strong passion, that comes from within you, to keep you moving in that path. Otherwise, it is very difficult. And for many filmmakers, including me, I think that passion comes from your inspiration from your life, the things that you feel that you must say or must express through your medium of cinema. And that's why I feel for me cinema, life inspires cinema. But again, if I see it from the audience perspective, then I think
Cinema
it'll
inspires
be,
life.
yeah, it'll be the opposite. Cinema inspires life, and for people like us also, cinema does inspire life
Yes.
actually. But I think like 60%, 70% will be life inspires cinema, and 30, 40% will be cinema inspires life.
Is there any movie you live by?
Movie I live by? No, not one particular actually.
Yeah.
There are so many. Uh, I think every film that makes you feel an emotion, every film that can capture you completely, is a film that you live by, and it stays in your head. It stays with you forever. So there are many films of that kind.
So Kumu has become your stepping stone, right? So what
Correct.
inspired you to make Kumu?
So I think I must tell you first about how I landed in filmmaking
Yeah.
also. So I, after completing my bachelor's in media studies, I came back to Assam for because of COVID mainly, and I took admission in mass comm in Tezpur University. And it was then during our college years I assisted a documentary filmmaker
Yes.
in a documentary film called The Children of God. So while I was assisting for Children of God, I think that was the time when I realized that okay, maybe I can consider making a short film. And when I thought that okay, let's make a short film, what will be the subject? So from my childhood, I think I've been very sensitive towards the issues of the people from the the T tribe community, of the Adivasi community, and I always had this in my mind that if I ever do something, it'll be for these people. So I wanted to take that kind of a story, and for people who don't know, who is based on the life of a 12-year-old Adivasi girl from a tea tribe, and her struggle, or actually not struggle, but her story, how she's deprived of her childhood because of social and familial circumstances. So that was the motivation. So that's why I say that, for me, life inspires cinema.
So tell our viewers about the achievements of Kumu.
So Kumu is my debut film, and not just because it is my debut, but because I didn't really have much idea about how festivals happen and where all you're supposed to send. I was simply, honestly, I was just simply trying things out. So when Kumu was complete and I had to send it to festivals, I just Googled, and made a list of festivals that I should be
Okay.
sending it to. Because I was coming from that kind of a background where I didn't have a lot of idea, and few
Yes.
people did guide me that these are the festivals that you need to send, but not that I had a lot of idea. It was first time for me, and I had done it with very less expectations. So when Kumu was selected in a festival in the competition category, it is called Sign. It is organized by the Federation of Film Societies of India, Kerala, and we were given tickets to go. For the we were given the travel allowance and we were given the stay. So for me, honestly, the first festival where Kumu participated, for me it was just an experience. I took it that way only, that I'm going to go. They're giving the money to go and come, and they're giving the stay also. And food and everything is included. So I'll go and have a good time. I'll see good films. That's all. But very unexpectedly, Kumu won the best short feature there. And I consider that recognition for Kumu and for me not just important for the journey of Kumu, but for me as well, because it kind of made me think that okay, maybe Kumu is going to have a journey in festivals, and it did. It went on to many festivals. It went to a festival called Bengal International Short Film Festival. There also, I was able to get the Best Director award, which is also a very big thing because the festival had two categories. One was the documentary and the other was short. So there was just one best director, and I won that. And that festival had so many films from national award winning filmmakers. So being a debut filmmaker and getting that best director award, being amongst such big personalities, I think it was very shocking in a way for me, and very overwhelming, honestly. There were times when I was not able to believe actually that actually, who has, gone so far. It
It's a
was,
success.
it's a success, yeah, absolutely. And I owe this success to the people, actually. I must
Yeah.
tell that. I had the vision, but the people who made it possible, my crew, my crew, cinematographer Sida Bora. Sound, we had Devojit Gan. He's a national award winning sound designer. Then in music we had Traliba.
Yeah.
Then color was done by Suraj Dwara. He's also national award winning filmmaker. And above all, the people, because Kumu is made of, a cast which comes from a background of no acting. They all are non professionals. So the amount of love and the amount of honesty with which they have worked, and the amount of honesty with which the people of that village, it's Dhantula, the place where we shot the film. So the honesty and genuineness of those people, they have, I think, really, um, you know, gained a lot of blessings. That's why we could go where we went. And recently, I must tell, Kumu was also screened in Berlin, which is actually one of the first and biggest international screening for Kumu. It was screened in an indie German film week where a few very critically acclaimed films from India were screened, and fortunately, Kumu was a part of it.
So, how much and why do you think a movie showcasing a man's perspective is different from a movie showcasing a woman's perspective?
Um, Kumu is based on a girl child basically, and I feel that if there would have been a male director or a male filmmaker making the film, Kumu would have been different. I'll not say good or bad.
Yeah.
That's for a different debate. But it would have been different because every filmmaker, whenever he or she is making a film, they're putting their beliefs, their ideas, or their ways of looking at life and the world on screen.
Yeah.
So gender does play a very big role in giving people different experiences in real life. So whatever happens in reality is what is manifested on screen, right? So the male female perspective thing is a very real and genuine thing.
Yes.
That's the first thing that we need to understand. That let's say, just tell me any film that you love uh, from Bollywood, maybe. Just tell me any name. Maybe Sholay.
Yeah.
Okay. So had Sholay been made by a female director,
No.
Sholay would not have been what Sholay is.
Yeah.
You understanding?
Yes.
Because it is the perspective that makes a film. Otherwise, there are so many ways of looking at the world. It is one individual's perspective of looking at a situation, at somebody's life in a particular way that makes the bottom line of the film.
Yes.
So when we talk about male and female perspective, this is, I think, a very important thing to discuss about and to know about, because I feel many people still don't know about it, because our society has defined the gender roles in a particular way. And for a long time in the history, we have had filmmakers who have kind of stuck to that, gender definition when it comes to cinema as well.
Yes.
But some filmmakers have tried to make their own way. And in Assam, there are many female filmmakers. They have their own perspective. But one name that also comes to my mind is Janu Borua sir.
Yes.
Um, I have watched a lot of his films, almost all. One of his films that is very close to my heart is Firingoti.
Yes.
And I actually would like to say that I love Firingoti even more than Oporpa.
Okay.
Because the character of Malaya Goswami,
Yes.
the way the whole character is made,
Yes.
the journey that she has, I think it is an ideal way of representing women characters from a female perspective,
Yes.
which Jan Vorwa sir did
Yeah.
so many years back. And he has kind of redefined, I think, how women are seen in cinema. And now also we have many female filmmakers in mainstream. If I talk about Bollywood, then
Yeah.
Zoya Akhtar is somebody I really admire, because whatever she does it right.
Yeah.
She has a different language, she has a different form, but she justifies what she's doing. And it's very important for us to have both the perspectives.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will always be one dominant over the other. So,
So for the first time, an Indian movie wins an Oscar. So what do you see the chances of an Assamese movie winning Oscar someday?
um, very mathematically, if I have to say this, if we're talking about the probability of it happening, see, Oscar is a American film festival basically, and it has, if I'm not wrong, it has just one category for foreign films, and that is a very competitive space to
Yes.
be in. So, thinking of that one space, I think making films is not worth it.
Okay.
Filmmakers are, I think, born with, or actually, let's say artists are born with a greater responsibility
Yes.
than to just reach a stage which is considered prestigious, which is, of course, important, but it cannot be the defining factor
Yes.
for anybody in their journey. And I think as long as we do have some filmmakers who are doing great, actually, I must tell you, one of my friend, his name is Maharshi,
Yeah.
and his short film, The Horse from Heaven,
Yeah.
Murgurar Durantagoti, it was the official entry for Oscar from India in the short category, and I think that's a big thing. That his film was able to reach
Yeah.
that point. But what you also need to understand is the festival, suppose, where his film went, and his film was standing with 5 other films or 10 other films. So all those films are also equally good.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you're understanding? There cannot be an unanimous decision on an art.
Yes.
Everybody has their perspective. What I like, you might not. What
Yeah.
you might like, I might not. So that's how I think, fortunately or unfortunately, festivals happen. That it is one perspective that wins.
Yeah.
You know, till one point we will have things like technicalities and all those, but after one point, everybody is equal in the competition. So I think the greater success lies in being able to touch the audience. If you are really able to form that connect with your audience, that is um, the greatest gift. And if you are able to do that, I don't know whether you reach Oscars or not, but I think we should be able to at least have a name as a filmmaker.
Yeah. That should be the goal. The focus should be the content or the audience.
I think the focus should be on your expression,
Yeah.
what you want to do, how you plan to do it, and just do it without really thinking about the um, existing rules that exist,
Yes.
the conventional way of how things happen. If we just let that go and kind of make our own language in cinema,
Yeah.
I think that is good enough.
Okay.
And everything else rests on, I don't know, the journey, the destiny.
Do you think the rise of artificial intelligence will affect on cinema as well? Will you think? Do you think it will just replace actors, filmmakers, or scriptwriters?
See, okay, one thing that I think we all understand very well is that the technological advancements that are happening in the world right now, uh, there's nothing that they cannot do. There's nothing that they cannot do. But when we talk about creative things or art, let's say,
Yeah.
when an artist, does any art, whatever it is, not just cinema, it is the artist who is putting his emotions, his experiences, or her experiences, and that is leading to the formation of whatever he or she is making. It is not an algorithm that
Yes.
can do that. And how do you even plan to code an emotion into an algorithm that will, play and make art in a particular way? And if it does, then it is not an art.
Yes.
It is not creative because it is quite uh, repetitive. Any repetitive thing, how do you call it original, or how do you
Yeah.
call it an art? So I really don't think that. Of course, AI will be an help,
Okay.
because I've seen. Recently, I saw a filmmaker. He was posting in Facebook a few of his images of his storyboard for his next
Yeah.
film. So AI, definitely at those stages, AI will help in better visualizing our visuals, in creating the storyboard. But the final thing has to be from a human being. AI can never be an artist. I don't think so.
So you're being positive about the AI.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. AI, see, we all have that. Uh, Whenever a new product is launched in the market, if you have learned the basics of marketing, it has this kind of a
Graph.
graph. It has a journey. So the AI is now rising, and it'll do so for a very long time. But it'll never replace creative work. It
Yes.
can never do that, because creativity comes from not following rules. Creativity comes from within. It is not. It does not happen at your memory level. It does not happen at your understanding level. It happens at that level where you can evaluate things, and put your input from your personal experiences. How do you code a personal experience in a AI? How do you code a emotion in an AI? That is not going to happen.
Yes. So tell our viewers about your future plans, future projects.
uh, Future plans, after making Kumu, I assisted in one more documentary film, and I'm also making my own documentary film that
Yeah.
is pretty much in the, I would say, in the pre-production stage only. But recently, one project that I can talk about is, it's called Son of the Soil.
Yeah.
And Son of the Soil is basically a short film that I made after Kumu.
Okay.
It is called Matir Apun in Assamese. And I've just started sending the film to festivals. And let's see what kind of a journey it will have.